Episode 5, Griffin the Brush-Off. This episode has Pinkie taking on the role of main character and starts with her venting to Twilight about how amazing she thinks Rainbow Dash is. Twilight, however, is barely listening because she's focused on her book. Upon seeing Rainbow Dash, Pinkie gives chase and Twilight is relieved because it means she can read without interruptions. Rainbow Dash doesn't want to deal with Pinkie right now and constantly says not now while Pinkie tries to talk to her. In a hilarious twist, however, Pinkie was just wanting to tell her to be careful of a mountain. We then cut to Pinkie trotting around Ponyville trying to find Rainbow Dash, who in turn is trying her best to hide from Pinkie Pie. Twilight unfortunately gives away Rainbow Dash's position and Pinkie calls out to her. A chase begins and Rainbow Dash soon learns there is no hiding from Pinkie Pie, she will find you, which is a gag they revisit a few times in the series. Rainbow Dash hides at Sweet Apple Acres, but Pinkie is already there waiting. She hides in the branches of Twilight's library, but again, Pinkie is already there waiting. Then Rainbow Dash tries to trick Pinkie by sending her on a wild goose chase, but the moment Rainbow Dash thinks she is safe, Pinkie reappears and Rainbow Dash concedes defeat. We then cut to what Pinkie wanted from Rainbow Dash, which involves putting a storm cloud in a certain position. They're waiting for Spike to come out, and the moment he does, Pinkie tells Rainbow Dash to call Thunder, which frightens Spike. This causes the poor dragon to get the hiccups, which in turn causes him to send all the scrolls he's holding to Princess Celestia. Thankfully, everyone is able to laugh at the prank, including Spike. Rainbow Dash is surprised Pinkie likes to pull pranks, but Pinkie points out that it's all in good fun, and she loves to have fun. Because of this, Rainbow Dash asks Pinkie if she'd like to hang out some more, which results in them buying a heap of stuff from a joke shop. They start off by sending flowers to Rarity laced in sneezing powder. She seems a little cross at first, but quickly sees the humor in the joke. Next, they replace Twilight's ink with invisible ink, which distracts her long enough to cause her experiment to explode. Thankfully, Twilight also finds the prank humorous. Applejack is the next victim, where they have given funny paint jobs to all the apples on her farm. Applejack is a bit more angry at first, but after seeing the paint easily wash off, she too laughs at the prank. Rainbow Dash wanted to prank Fluttershy next, but Pinkie points out that they can't do that because even their most harmless prank will upset her. I think there's an important lesson from this, that it's okay to pull pranks on your friends, but you need to know when to stop or when you'll go too far, which Pinkie clearly shows in this scene. She does follow this up with a prank on Rainbow Dash, causing more laughter between them. The next day, Pinkie is eager to play more pranks with Rainbow Dash, but is surprised to discover she has a visitor. A griffin by the name of Gilda, which is something Pinkie has never seen before. Rainbow Dash introduces Gilda as her best friend from Junior Speedster Flight Camp. Hearing this, Pinkie invites Gilda to come pranking with them. Gilda appears amused by this, but Rainbow Dash has already promised to have a flying session with her, so they agree to meet up with Pinkie Pie later before taking off. Rainbow Dash and Gilda enjoy a fast-paced flying session together before eventually taking a break on a cloud. I'm guessing griffins have the same ability as Pegasi because Gilda also appears to be able to walk on clouds. It being later, Pinkie has caught up to them and rejoins them by constantly jumping through the clouds on a powerful trampoline. Rainbow Dash is amused by this, but Gilda is not, so she baits Rainbow Dash into a race to get away from Pinkie. Pinkie, however, catches up again, having tied numerous balloons to herself to allow her to fly. Gilda again baits Rainbow Dash into another race, but secretly stays behind and pops Pinkie's balloons to get rid of her. But like I said before, you can't escape Pinkie Pie, who turns up in some wacky flying machine I can only assume she built in the last few seconds. Gilda tricks Rainbow Dash into leaving by asking if she has any new moves, and while Rainbow Dash is gone, Gilda starts being very mean to Pinkie, saying stuff like, "Don't you know how to take Get Lost for an answer, and Dash doesn't need to hang around with a dweeb like you now that I'm around." She finishes this by saying, "Make like a bee and buzz off," which in my opinion is actually a pretty clever insult. Gilda causes Pinkie Pie to crash while doing this, and Pinkie is understandably upset and goes to Twilight to vent. Twilight, however, feels that Pinkie is just being jealous and reminds her that she can't be jealous just because Rainbow Dash has another close friend. Pinkie leaves upset, but takes Twilight's advice into consideration and concedes that maybe she was just being jealous. Later on in town, Gilda and Rainbow Dash return, but after the last interaction, Pinkie decides to stay out of sight. Dash has to leave to take care of some weather jobs, leaving Gilda to explore Ponyville on her own. In this scene, we see that Gilda likes to pull pranks as well. But unlike Pinkie Pie, Gilda takes things a little too far. For example, she tricks Granny Smith into thinking her tail is a snake and causing her to panic. This makes Pinkie feel suspicious about Gilda again, which is reinforced when she witnesses Gilda steal an apple from a cart. Pinkie decides to give Gilda the benefit of the doubt, but after Pinkie Pie witnesses Gilda bully Fluttershy, she decides she needs to take things into her own hooves. Which of course means throwing a party. This show has a lot of parties. Fluttershy asks Pinkie if this is a good idea, but Pinkie assures her she has it all under control. Pinkie welcomes Gilda with a smile before pranking her with a hand buzzer that would impress the Joker. Gilda is annoyed by this, but laughs it off when Rainbow Dash arrives. Gilda is suspicious of Pinkie Pie, believing she has malicious intent, but as you'll find out later, she really doesn't. The party continues and Gilda is bombarded with a variety of pranks, including ultra-spicy food, dribble cups, plastic snakes and presents, and a true classic of relighting birthday candles. Gilda believes Pinkie is behind this, but I can't reinforce this enough, she has no malicious intent. They then start a game of pin the tail on the pony. As the guest of honor, Gilda goes first, but refuses to listen to Pinkie's instructions, which ends with her humiliating herself. Unfortunately, Gilda has been humiliated for the last time and badmouths all the ponies present by calling them lame. She's particularly hurtful to Pinkie Pie for playing all the pranks on her. Remember though that this is a kid's show, so no profanity was used. I will admit though that rewatching this scene was a little hard because it hurt to see someone insulting so many characters I've just grown to love so much throughout the years. Gilda announces that her and Dash are leaving, but Rainbow Dash refuses to leave and makes a shocking reveal that she was the one who did all the pranks. They weren't all meant for Gilda, she just happened to set them off. This is arguably backed up by the fact that it was Rainbow Dash who advised her to drink punch when she ate spicy food, led her to the presents, and asked Gilda if she was upset over relighting candles. Pinkie then reveals she just wanted to change Gilda's attitude and turn her frown upside down, though I do suspect she was an accomplice to the chili pepper prank, and she's definitely guilty for the hand buzzer. Rainbow Dash then tells Gilda off by saying that if being cool is all she cares about, she should find some new cool friends someplace else. Gilda leaves and we don't see her again for many seasons. Rainbow Dash apologizes to the crowd for how rude Gilda was, and Twilight apologizes to Pinkie for their conversation from before. And Pinkie forgives her without a second thought. The party continues and the episode ends with the following lesson: that while you can't always control who your friends hang out with, what you can control is your own behavior. Your actions will determine if you are a true or false friend, something Pinkie succeeded in by showing she's a true friend, while Gilda didn't by showing she was a false friend. Celestia is also briefly pranked with invisible ink, but she too takes it in jest. My takeaway from this episode is reminding me that you can be a mutual friend between two or more people, but that doesn't necessarily mean everyone will get along. I, and I'm sure many others, have experienced this throughout life, which is why I feel the message of this episode is important. While you might not necessarily like someone your friend hangs out with, it's more important to be polite and try to be friendly while in each other's company, because that is what a true friend does. Until next time, thanks for watching, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you at the next review.